Okay, so today I'm just going to do a little video on talking about whatever it takes, and I hear that quite often, I'll do whatever it takes. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I'm going to be speaking to my mate Brian Peters, who won the Universe back in the day, and he stayed with me 2 weeks prior to winning that. And I can tell you, honestly, it opened my eyes. He really would do whatever it takes. So people say this, and then obviously, do they really know what they're getting into? That's the thing. It's easy to say, but then when you start, say you're in the middle of a squat session, people don't really. They say they do, but do they really? So, yeah, my mate Brian, he stayed with me, and I can tell you, he really, honestly, put everything you possibly could into it. A lot of people these days, they want to do the bodybuilding, but I think training is great. Everyone should train, but extreme bodybuilding is something else. Like I've always said, it's not for everyone. As an example, I can't swim. I've never been able to, and it's not a case that I'm giving up on it. I've tried many times, but you know what? It's just not for me. I get a lot of anxiety if I try to learn to swim. I've been to many swimming lessons, etc. But it doesn't matter what I do. I just, it's not for me. So I think with the bodybuilding, it's the same. I like lifting weights, but other things like swimming and running and stuff like that, I'm not really into, and it's not really my thing. So I think that's what's important. I think a lot of people, they want to do like a show. They talk about doing getting ready for a show, and they don't really understand what they're getting into. Halfway through, obviously, it's a bit of a shock to them. And a lot of people, before they start their prep, they go, yeah, I'll do whatever it takes, la la la. But when you start getting hungry and tired, you've really got to want this, like I said, if you enjoy this, it's easy. But a lot of people do this because of social media, and they like the idea of being a bodybuilder. It all sounds good, it all looks good, but they haven't really got any passion for it. This is the problem. And that can cause a lot of problems. It's like, at the moment, I really, really love it. And if you love something, you're going to be able to do it quite easily. So, I'm not really that bothered about being hungry, That's where some people, when they're dieting, it's just a nightmare for them because they don't actually really want to do it. Do you know what I mean? So I think that it's important to see what you're getting into. Years ago, when I had the hardcore spit and sawdust gym, people were training there and people would walk by and go, blood, what's going on in there? It was crazy. As where now it's been opened up to the general public, which is good, but in a way it's also bad because, like I said, a lot of people don't realise what extreme bodybuilding is all about. So that they, like I said, the idea of it sounds good, but then when they get involved in it, they realise there's, it is extreme. So I think, people need to understand that what they're getting into. Certainly when you start looking at doing a show, I've always said to people, watch a few shows first, speak to people, get into it. You don't have to, you don't do a show without even knowing what you're getting into. So that's very, very important. So my mate Brian, getting back to him, the 2 weeks that he stayed with me prior to to his competitions, wow. It was like every minute of the day he was doing something to do with bodybuilding. He literally wouldn't speak about anything else. It was just a full-on attack. I really haven't seen anything quite like it. And it opened my eyes, and I realised now that's what it takes, you know what I mean? And fair enough, he won the Universe, he won the Worlds, he won everything. But unless you've actually witnessed it and been with someone who's that dedicated to it, it's hard to understand. So when people say to me now, I'll do whatever it takes, I sort of think, okay, do you really? So make sure you know what you're getting into. Most of all, enjoy it, and if you enjoy it, it's going to be easy. But yeah, whatever it takes. An interesting one. You've got to be able to push yourself and take yourself to the next level, and everyone's got a limit as to how far they can take this. Some people's levels are here, some people's are here, some people are here. I admit it. I certainly ain't at the level at the moment that I'd like to be at. I'd like to be able to say I'd do whatever it takes, but as I've got older, it's harder. I think when you're younger, you can push it more, and as you get older, other priorities take over. There's other things in life that you need to address. So yeah, that little talk. We've got Brian coming in Monday. He's going to talk to you about what he did prior to that show, and you'll get an understanding of what he's about, because he don't mess about, and it's going to be very, very interesting. So it'll be worth definitely watching that video. So I'm speaking into him Monday, and then we'll be putting it on, and yeah, we'll speak to you soon.